Hello, welcome back to Linnets TV. Me, Sam Phillips. Now I'm joined by Runcorn manager Dave Wild. Dave, thanks for joining us. First couple of weeks in the job, how's it been?
Whirlwind, to be quite honest. Obviously, the club's got so many links in terms of the community and the junior section, and it's a really well-run club in terms of the board and chairman, etc. So the volume of volunteers and the meeting the new players, new signings, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. So lots of phone calls, lots of meetings. It's just good to be sort of on the grass now and starting to slowly build things up to the proper stuff.
Yeah, now obviously back on the grass tonight for pre-season. You brought one or two in. Can you tell us a bit about the ones that we don't know? Obviously, you brought in City Sinogo Fafana. You brought in obviously Ben Harfaker. Most of us know about him from his spell. The ones that you brought in, can you just tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, so look, Ben comes with me everywhere I go. He's just a tried and tested striker, and I've got absolutely no concerns about him whatsoever. He'll score goals, and I don't know what happened the first time he was at the club, whether it was just face didn't fit or whatever. But I think the fans will get to see a completely different Ben by the end of pre-season. Obviously, Niall Rodney's come in. Niall was somebody that we'd earmarked anyway, but with Brookie leaving, we sort of had to speed the process up with him and make sure that we got that one done. I'm really, really genuinely pleased to get that in. It's a spark of quality, and as much as it is a name in terms of the level, I just think he brings something a little bit different to what Ben and Brookie would have done. So we're pleased with that one. Siddy, he's strong, powerful, energetic, box-to-box midfielder, and that's an area that, for how we want to play this season, we're going to need 3-4 of those in them roles anyway. So obviously Jack, Hazy and Doyley are already here. So City was sort of the cherry on the cake for that area. Got 2 more in the pipeline this week. One's done but not been announced yet. I think that'll either be tonight or tomorrow that we announce it. And then I've got to give it to Jamie. Really, he's grafting in the background to get one more defender over the line. But other than that, we're in a good place. Obviously, we've got Darryl in, who's been playing for me lower than the level he should have been. Purely based on the fact that he's a fireman, so obviously split shifts and stuff. But he's had a changing circumstance with his hours. So Darryl's coming at right wing back, strong, powerful, athletic lad who I know well from the time at Stockport Town. Is that everyone?
Andy Coughlin.
Yeah, so obviously Andy's coming from Colwyn Bay. I made no secret about this in the interview, and I've made no secret about it when you've interviewed me or anyone's asked me. Is I'm not a huge fan of sort of numerous long-term or short-term loan deals, and that's no slant on how Callum's done it, because obviously he's done a superb job in terms of the loan market with goalkeepers. But with Owen Mooney not being available to come back, Joe Young, obviously we had him at Matlock at the back end of the season. I think he's going to be loaned out a couple of leagues higher next year. Getting a permanent keeper in was sort of one of the main priorities, which is why Andy was the first signing.
And now you've managed to keep 90% of the team from last year. Was that a big thing when you first come in, to try and keep, obviously, a side that went all the way to the playoff final?
Yeah, for me personally, Sam, I just think it's common sense. If a team's got to a playoff final, whether they were seen as contenders at the start of the season or not, there's a reason it's happened, and I've got to be sensible and not pig-headed enough to not see the work that Callum and his team did with that batch of players, and it's for me to sort of take the mantle and try and push them, maybe, touch wood, one step further. I've seen saw Runcorn play a couple of times last season. Obviously, it's tricky with being at another club, but the lads that stood out for me, certainly Jack, Big Sean at the back is a big one, and Shorty and Ali Brown. To be honest with you, I wanted Ali Brown when I was at Mosley. Couldn't get it over the line because he was over this way, and I'm really pleased to have Ali on board, as well as all the other lads. One big thing for me, and I've literally just said it to him in the change room, is it's a clean slate for everyone. It's very cliche. I know everyone will say, "Oh, new season, clean slate," but look at people like Eden, who trained Tuesday, and he's head and shoulders above everyone in terms of his fitness and the way that he's looked after himself over the summer, and I think he deserves a pat on the back for that. And their doors opening for lads like Eden as well. So it's an exciting time, certainly for me and hopefully for the players.
Now, obviously, new manager means new management team. You talked about how good it was to bring a name like Niall Rodney in, but How important was it to bring Billy in? We obviously haven't spoke to you since Billy was
Yeah, yeah.
announced, and a name like Billy Painter, everyone knows it already. It must be fantastic to have him not just as a coach, but in the dressing
Oh,
room as well.
100%. Look, Billy wasn't someone that was in my mind frame when I got the job. Obviously, I'd spoken to Jamie to come in as the assistant manager and carry on playing, which again is a really good um, player in terms of the squad as well. So obviously, Billy and Jamie are related through I think it's through marriage, are they, brother-in-laws? And obviously Jamie has put that to me that Billy's interested in getting into sort of senior football rather than the Port Vale and Everton in the academies. And for me, it's a no-brainer. He's an A-licensed coach. He's got 750 appearances in league football, even though you only told everyone that he was on 250. He's not happy about that. But listen, I'm not arrogant and pig-headed. I need to develop myself. I need to improve as a manager, a coach, and in other areas. And you know, why wouldn't you want someone of Billy's sort of experience and reputation? Because already he's really helping us off the field as well in terms of his links and relationships in decent setups in terms of academies locally. And that's just opening doors for me, the club, Jamie, and strengthening the team. So, no brainer. I'm really pleased to have him. He's obviously took his first session on Tuesday night. Outstanding. Lad's really bought into sort of his way of coaching and his mentality towards fitness and preparation. So I'm over the moon with it.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us, Dave. I'll let you get back to him because it looks like they're coming over to us. But we'll speak to you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, of course. No worries.